Hello and welcome to episode 9 of my Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker playthrough. I believe we have a dungeon coming up in the not too distant future. We just finished off the beginning stories and this one quest over here is actually level 81. We finally had a level 81 quest. It's taken a while. I imagine the quest levels are going to go up a bit quicker from this point on. Now we're past the beginning stuff. It is still Monday here, so episode 1 has just come out. The plan is I want to get 2 more episodes done today. Hopefully my voice will last for that. Mostly because my replacement SSD didn't come today. It looks like it's going to come tomorrow. So I want to get this recorded today while I have the opportunity. Tomorrow morning I am probably going to spend a little bit of time in Bosja, leveling up Sage and Reaper. In my off time, I've been putting levels into, or starting to level Scholar and Summoner, because I want to get Scholar, and by extension Summoner, Gunbreaker, and the last one, Bard, up to level 80 for the role quests. That's the plan at least. We've not got to the role quests yet, so we don't need to worry too much about them, but I'm making a start on them now. I'm probably going to be using Gunbreaker and Bard for the purpose of completing the Shared Fates bit, which I want to try and get that done sooner rather than later in the areas I have access to. At least get this up once, because if I remember correctly, I don't remember if it's... If I remember correctly, I don't remember if. After you've leveled it up a certain amount of times, I forget the specific number, whether it's rank 1 or 2, you unlock, or rather it'll be rank 2 or 3, you unlock riding maps. And if I can get access to riding maps, it will double my my movement speed in those zones, which will make recording these episodes a little bit easier. Anyway, that's what I'm doing, that's the plan. Let's talk to Kryl. Let's see what we're going to be getting up to. Kryl gazes at you with an expectant eye. Since there have been progress in both investigations, shall we share our findings from our respective locales? This is going to be voiced. Can I sip my hot tea while it's still hot?
Your time in Thafnir has certainly been eventful. In my opinion, carrying out Vitra's request and assaulting the Tower of Zot should be our highest priority.
I agree. While I still have questions concerning the Forum and their grand undertaking, we have all but exhausted our avenues of investigation. Simply pressing them any harder on the subject will almost certainly result in our expulsion. Therefore, I suggest we explore the ethereal sea connection by way of a letter to Master Matoya, then make our way to Thafnir.
I wonder, even with the protection these talismans afford us, what can we hope to achieve once inside the tower? According to Orenvold and Fodola's report, they were unable to free the Emolja. Worse, their attempts triggered the tower's defenses, which led to a summoning of Luna Ifrit.
What does it tell us that the Spires even have such defenses? Simply pulling a prisoner from the wall is fatal, thus the direct approach is doomed to failure from the outset. Any further measures to dissuade such actions seem unnecessary. Unless, of course, there is a way to free the prisoners without killing them. Then it stands to reason that any intruders will be met with overwhelming force.
The towers appeared throughout the world in but the twinkling of an eye. 'Twas by magical means these structures were raised, I surmise. A spire thus conjured must needs be maintained, and I suspect an arcane catalyst, some manner of core, doth lie hidden within. Destroy the core, and the tower ceaseth to be, thus liberating the captives without harm.
So we can hope, and I would prefer to enter the tower with a working theory than with no plan at all.
Assuming Ishtola's reasoning is correct, the chances of the defenses remaining dormant are small to none. Any primals will have to be dealt with, and defeating one will likely only lead to the summoning of another. Our every victory will only compound the prisoner's suffering.
May we not then divide our forces? Those proficient in healing will focus on sustaining the captives. That duty can be covered by Urianger, Cryle, Yostola, and myself.
Because I don't play a healer as my main character anymore. I doubt they would have included me in this anyway. But they have been better about acknowledging when the player is playing a healer.
The remaining Scions will proceed with the search for the core. Admittedly, this strategy puts both parties at greater risk, but it should bolster our chances of saving the Archosaurus by a considerable margin.
Are you sure Alphino is in the right group? He's always been a healer. No, Alisaie will almost certainly want to come with us. That's bullshit. She's a fighter, not a healer. But that's a good point. He didn't list Alphino.
If you're to fight primals, then you'd best have at least one healer with you.
And I am more than happy to fulfill that role. I found wielding a sage's armament to be rather intuitive, and look forward to testing them against a more challenging foe.
It seems we have a plan. All that remains is to carry it out. I will inform Radzat of our movements, so let us make our preparations and regroup near the tower.
A military post in what's left of the Hamsa hatchery should serve as a convenient staging.
That sounds perfect. And remember, the experimental aetherite at the confluence is there for those who need it, so there's no excuse for being late.
Alrighty then. I will see you all on the outside of the tower, because this will take a little while. See you in a sec. Rather than taking the long way avoiding the cliffside, I decided to go straight away along the beach. I think this was actually faster. Ah, our friend from Eorzea. We've been expecting you. You and yours will lead the mission to the tower, I'm told. The warden scales will be delivered soon. Till then, please stand by at the boat that we have readied. When your fellows arrive, I will direct them to join you. We pray for your safety and success. God, the nighttime music in this zone is so relaxing. If this is the future of ethereal travel, I think I'll stick to boats. Aye, no warning, however empathetic, could have prepared me for that. On account of which, we are a little late, but fighting fit, mostly. My friends, permit me to thank you for accepting this mission. You must be... Should we still call you Vashana, I suppose? Indeed, it would not do to confuse our soldiers. Very well then. For our part, we are humbled that you should see fit to entrust us with your warding scales. Please convey as much to His Excellency. One for each of you. Please accept them with my blessing. Our thanks. With these, we can go anywhere without the blessing of light, or We can go anywhere those with a blessing of light can go. Not only for this operation either, but for all the ones to come, we can finally break your monopoly on primals. I've been waiting for this day. I wouldn't mind carrying on as before, you know. In that case, they're all yours from now on. But I'm afraid we can't let you retire just yet. You're the Scion's brightest star, after all. If everyone is amenable to it, let us review the strategy for good measure. As previously agreed, we'll divide into 2 groups. Nathan and his band will break through the tower's defences and locate its core. Meanwhile, the rest of us will tend to the prisoners, who will doubtless want for healing due to the duress of repeated summoning. The primer which the tower bringeth forth shall be a deity of the Favnarian myth. As we have no prior experience with such foes, pray excuse the utmost caution when confronting them. Exercise, not excuse. We commence the operation at your word, my friend. For the people of Favnir, nay, the entire world, we must prevail. Well, 2 of these characters have to go with me because I only have one option for a healer and a tank. And I think we'll take... because I'm going to do this with a trust rather than in the duty finder. I always do my first clear with the trusts. And I think we'll take Estinian, because he did make a direct promise to Vitra. Form a party. Actually, no, small talk. Small talk first. The Radiant host and I will be watching from the outpost, ready to act at the first sign of unusual activity. May the scales serve you well, and protect you in lieu of Vitra's fangs and claws. Beast you Roy, I've not forgotten my healing spells. Be it restoration or destruction, this sorceress can command whatever magics the situation requires. Aside from primals within the tower, we shall for certain encounter enthralled Imperial soldiers. Defences convert defenders. Why does that word elude me? Conveyed hither by unknown means. There we go. Who will stop at nothing to hinder our efforts. Though our parties separate, I will trust in you, as I know you will trust in me. Let us both give our all and add another rousing chapter to the saga. This is the closest I've ever been to one of the towers. Such a sinister aura it extrudes. It's been a while since I last took to the field. I can't help but feel nervous, but with everyone at my side, I'm sure all will be well. Small talk. I may have taken up new arms, but my role is unchanged. I am a healer through and through. Yet, in knowing who once wore this sage's mantle, I wonder, when all is said and done, will I look back on the battles I've chose to fight with pride? My warding scale is safely tucked away, and ready when you are, Nathan. I may not be the Azure Dragoon, former or otherwise, but I guarantee that I'll give as good as I get. Sorry, I gotta say, I'm not taking you this time. First this armour, blessed with Ratsorka's power, and now Vitra's scale. Much has changed for the dragoons, or for the dragon to show me such favour. And with Nidhogg with me, in spirit and in hand, no obscure or no obstacle will bar our way. With Ustola keeping them company, the other party will be able to hold their own against enemies if needs be. We can tackle our task without worrying over them. Come, let's be about it. Okay,
Right then.
let's go. Excellent, we're not going to be waiting. This will obviously go a little slower than a standard duty dungeon will, because I'm doing it with a trust. Okay, we don't need that. Okay. Foul place. Let us proceed with caution. Tancred, you're up. So Armor Crush used to be on 6, which is why my head went to that button.
Cannot stop us! There!
Oh! I didn't realise they're attacking as well! I sense a great surge of ether, as if a summoning hath begun. There's the Mage's Sister! This is where... Oh, wait, okay, they're going that way. Onward and upward. The problem with only having this many enemies is these two abilities here really need 3 enemies or more to be effective. So in reality, I should have been using them at this point, but I forgot. I might be a little bit out of practice.
You cannot stop us! You're mine!
Let's have a closer look around. going to say, let's save that charge, but no, we needed to burn it. Youngest sister first, it seems. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. I think I'm in that. Ooh, just outside of it. There's no way that's not going to be one side then the other. Do we have to stop it from getting there?
You're mine!
Ah no, it's just showing us where it's going. That's going to hit me. Cutting it fucking fine.
You're mine!
So you're chosen Defiance. I have not been paying attention to what she's been saying. Been too busy trying to get my rotation right. We've gone for the tower. Yeah, nothing important. I need to pay a little bit more attention to what they're saying. It's kind of hard to keep an eye on them. It also doesn't help when they're so far behind. Oh, damn it. That's okay. We didn't actually screw up. 10 Chi-Jin was not cooldown. That's what I was trying to aim for. Tenchi Jin is going to come off cooldown at roughly the right time. Damn it, I shouldn't have used that there. I should have saved it.
You cannot stop us!
Oh, I did summon them. That's okay. That's going to get me in trouble if I can't get used to the fact that this is on a different button. Maybe I should just move it back. Let's move it back. Let's put it back to where it was. If I'm going to keep aiming for 6 when I want to use it, because that's where my muscle memory is, there's no reason not to. Oops. It's fine. We can do that instead. Have I missed the treasure copper so far? I've not been keeping an eye on them. I don't really need them. I'm mostly collecting them for seals. Grand Company seals. Am I hitting all 3 of them? I am.
You underestimate me!
So one of the main reasons I have the event window up is so that I can see these conversations if I miss them.
You underestimate me!
Because yeah, most of the, or I'm going to be entering most level 50 or 80 stuff. Just like in the pictures, we're facing the Major Sisters. Same sisters the Fisher lad told us about, yes. Yeah, so most of, I'm going to be buying with Poetics as I'm going along. Level 530 gear for everyone. So stuff from this dungeon and in these chests, they're not going to be of any real use to me. So they're all going to get handed over to, what's it called? The Grand Company. For seals to spend on ventures.
You cannot stop us!
Whoa. Confusion. Nope. So we're looking for the one that is basic, not the one that's using an emote, one that's channeling. Got him. Now it's converted all of those as well. You're the only one not doing anything.
Try and stop me!
Oh, she left before we got her down all the way down. Protective of the tower, aren't they? Compelled by its lawful magics, I imagine. Onward and upward. Ooh, well, this is a... Well, if we were looking for a core... the corruption feels stronger here. Aye, the talisman trembles to resist. I wouldn't ordinarily be this aggressive if I was in a party. I would wait for the tank.
This will hurt.
While I don't have to think too much about this, I should probably explain my layout a little bit for my actions. So, C1 through C4, Control 1 through Control 4, because I'm using a Logitech G910 keyboard, I have G1 through, or sorry, G6 through 9 above my F1, 2, 3 and 4 keys. So that's why these are here, because they're in a direct line above each other. C8 to C equals is G1 through G5, which tend to end up, or will end up being underneath my pinky finger, because they're on the left side of the keyboard. 7, 8 and 9, 0, minus and plus, I tend to hit using the number pad on the bottom of my mouse.
There!
Oh, fuck. Hi, Barmaid! There's only 2 enemies. Using the AoE combo isn't helpful. This works though. Very sure this is probably more damage. Maybe. I remember what the damage difference is. It's half as much. So in that case it isn't. I would have been better off just using single target attacks. Ooh, look.
You're mine!
There is the great work. There is the port town we started in. There's the sword. I forget the specific name they called it. If you could, Thancred.
Prepare yourself!
I in theory could force them to move ahead to the next area. But I can't guarantee that they will effectively AoE.
You cannot stop us!
That I shouldn't be doing. Rhyton is not more effective.
My turn! You cannot stop us!
Also, guaranteeing that they follow you is not the smartest idea. They may not actually follow you if I went running along up there to get to the next section. If I didn't have the camera so low, it may be easier seeing them when they have speech bubbles above their heads. That's what I was hoping for. We did get that charge back. It's not waste resources we can rightly use in the next boss fight. No matter the cost, we must protect the tower. Harbinger elect, the Major Sisters. Oh yeah, they changed the achievement system. I forgot about that. Would have been quicker to fight all three at once. Oh, Estinian. Why'd you have to go and say that? The other two ran away. What do you think they're going to do now? deflect.
You're mine!
It does look like potentially those two would actually die faster.
You're mine! You underestimate me!
Yeah, that might kill me. Yeah.
You're mine!
Where's Alizé when you want her? AoE LB would have been far better here. Well, we didn't die, but we fucked up a plenty. Let us not forget to talk to these, or at least hover near them so they say something. From what I can tell, the summoning appears to be over. I didn't see words, no belief, something or other. They were nimble fighters, I'll give them that. That seems to have been the limit of the tower's defences. Loot!
Is everyone all right?
We fortified the captives with what magics we could. Have the defenses been disabled? All appears quiet for the moment.
And found Daniel in X number of seconds.
The lower floors were disturbing enough, but this place feels wrong. The ether is heavy and thick, like wading through a quagmire.
I believe we stand in the tower's beating heart. What sayest thou, Stola?
I see it. Ether siphoned from the land runs up through the spire, flowing to a single point. This is the core we seek. Yet something is off. As large as this structure is, it siphons far more ether than is required to sustain it. 'Tis as if the core is feeding on the energy, consuming it. I need to take a closer look. Curious. There is something there embedded inside the core. A man's limb.
This is what we came to destroy?
Yes, if you would be so kind.
Excuse me, sorry.
And that should be the end of it.
Alpha, no. Have you learned nothing?
What now?
My theory that the tower might come crashing down following the core's destruction doth appear to be correct.
Bully for you! And how are we supposed to survive the fall?
What of the prisoners below?
The floor beneath our very feet dissolves. Brace yourselves!
I pray I'm not too late.
That's a lot of matanga.
Oh, what happened? Where are we?
By my reckoning, we're still on the island where the tower stood. But 'tis as if it never existed. Hardly a scratch. But how?
Yep.
Raha wove a levitation spell at the last moment. Large enough to catch everyone, it would seem.
That explains the lack of obvious injuries.
The expenditure of so much ether has taken its toll. He will need plenty of rest, but should otherwise be none the worse for wear.
Then the immediate problem is what to do with our new friends here.
Graha once again trying to kill himself to save everyone. He's pure to a fault.
There'll be much changed for their time in the tower. Even if their bodies are intact, I doubt we could say the same for their minds.
We need Angelos.
Angelo and I will take care of that.
There we go.
I have every faith in you, Alize, but there are just too many for you to treat alone.
We'll send at once to Eorzea for more Porksies, and call on the local mages to lend a hand.
Hail, Scions! We were watching the tower when it simply disappeared. What happened here?
The threat is banished, and thy people delivered. They are, however, in need of treatment, and we of a secure locale and helping hands to assist us in its provision.
You shall have all this and more. Come, let us convey these unfortunate souls to the city.
Nidhana. And her eyes you could drown in. Where is everyone? Stinin and Thankful are here. I imagine everyone else has gone on. Phew. Carrying all those Matanga might have been the true struggle. The liberated prisoners are being transported to Razatan for treatment. Alize and Yustola will oversee the administration of the tempering treatment with support from those who know healing spell too. We'll go and join them in the city once you've had a moment to catch your breath. Okay, catch our breath we will. Yep, we knew. Oh, does that mean that's straight up unlocked? Yes, we can now start leveling them. Scenario. Avatar. What would be the difference in doing it? Interesting. I'm wondering what the difference would be to do it in the scenario versus the avatar mode. I mean, you can level these guys up, but there's still a level cap, and it's not going to increase their DPS that much. But no, what I did end up doing last time, because I'm afraid of tanking in public instances, because I'm not great at tanking. I can do it, but it's too much stress. So I basically did all of my leveling of my tanks by way of the trusts. That's what I use my trusts for, to level my tanks. With the exception of Gunbreaker, which is going to be leveled by Fates almost exclusively. Anyway, we need to call it there for today, or for this episode, not for today. I've got one more to record after this. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show, and hopefully I will see you next time, where we'll head on over to Razatan. Cheerio.